Infinity Gauntlet Preview, Prelude, all that. Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University, and today on the Spotlight and Story, we're going to be talking about the prelude to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Alright, so this is going to be covering issue number 44 through 50 of the Silver Surfer. That's volume 3. Jim Starlin is doing the writing. In fact, let's just get right into who's actually doing this comic book. Jim Starlin is doing the writing. He is the creator of Thanos, and yeah, much love to Mr. Starlin. Pencils, Ron Lim. Inker, Tim Christopher, and colors, Tom Vincent. Now, the letterers and the editor have actually changed during this 6-issue mini run, so no point getting into all of that. Just, yeah, look it up. You're fine. In the meantime, we already covered up to issue 39, was it? Yes, through issue 39 of the Silver Surfer. That was the prelude to the Thanos Quest. So it's the resurrection of, coincidentally enough, this week, if you check out this week, today is the 14th of April, 2018. If you look up this week, the resurrection, or the rebirth, excuse me, of Thanos actually dropped this week. It's a True Believers comic, so it's just a reprint, but it's only $1. Worth getting, though, totally worth getting. And this is basically just the prelude to the Infinity Gauntlet, not the Infinity Gauntlet, the Thanos Quest, which is where he goes out, those 2 independent graphic novels where he goes out and gets the Infinity Stones, the Soul Stones, and then renames them to the Infinity Gems. Actually gives an individual name to each of the gems, in fact. And then, from that point, we're going to get to this right here, these 6 issues. This is right after the Thanos Quest. And right after this, it's going to lead directly into, literally directly into, the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So, let's get started. Also, for the sake of conversation, you may be saying, well, what happened in between those Silver Surfer stories? If we're going from issue 39 and now we're starting in issue 44, what about those individual issues? That was a very cool storyline in between that was just a separate thing involving Dynamo City. I would recommend grabbing them and reading them anyway. The ending was very fulfilling. It was very fulfilling and just a further example of who the Silver Surfer is. Great story, great story. So here we're starting off with Mentor having a conversation with the Surfer, and Drax the Destroyer is in there, and Eros, Star Fox, the brother of Thanos, is in the in this room, and they're looking over the bones of Thanos. Again, go back and check out that Spotlight story, or actually read the comics to see Thanos apparently died, but we know that he didn't die. He faked it. He had his so-called granddaughter, not really his granddaughter, Nebula, her first mate, her bodyguard more specifically, was actually put in his place, and he just put like a quick costume on him and everything, so it looked like he died because Lady Death, Mistress Death, said that the only person who could potentially stop you is the Silver Surfer right now. So, this was a preview of the future. Didn't happen yet. So he had to put the Silver Surfer off his trail. So he faked his own death. Meanwhile, there are augments inside this thing where the bone marrow should be, and Eros and Mentor are like, dude, nuh-uh. Thanos was more... Like, these implants and augmentations, mechanical, that were given to this person, they would make him on par with the Earth's Hulk. But Thanos was more powerful than the Earth's Hulk. I want you to think about that. So there's no way this is him. And mind you, that's when he's at resting. Okay, not when he gets super strong. But anyways, like, there's no way this was him. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Now, Thanos already has the Infinity Gauntlet at this time, and he's looking off into the future, and into the nether, and he's seeing what's going on. He's like, ah, crap, they're on to me. Well, whatever. I'm the supreme power right now. So he's like, yeah, let's have a conversation with Drax, who wants to kill me so bad, and the Silver Surfer. So he opens up a portal and sucks them through. It's funny because Mentor is there and Star Fox are there, and they're not sucked through. But Mentor is saying to Star Fox, man, The two of us are weaker than those two, so how come we didn't get pulled through? We should have been pulled through long before they were. And it's funny because Star Fox was just talking a lot of crap to, what's-his-face, Silver Surfer. And it's like, that dude, man, you got to be a special kind of person to really love that dude because there's something wrong with him. So, putting that off to the side, Thanos is having a conversation with these two. And, of course, Drax, he's really dumb at this point. This is before we get to the current Guardians of the Galaxy version of Drax, where he's got the two blades, and he's all like, oh, you know, Dave Bautista. No. This is a way dumber version of Drax. But he's also way more powerful. You can't hurt this dude. So him and the Hulk, literally, buddy. And you'll see more of that in the Infinity Gauntlet. So these two he goes and makes a jump at Thanos. And Thanos just stops time around him. He's like, yeah, done. He's not moving. So Surfer's like, how did you do that? That's impossible. He's like, oh, really? Is it? So he starts going through this whole thing. Like, is that really the ground under you? Because I am this, you know, the line that he uses, and I'm putting it up now for you to see. The line that he uses, he's just like, he repeats it. And the only thing that changes is because I'm the master of the reality gem, because I'm the master of the power gem, because I'm the master of the mind gem, because I'm the master of the soul gem. And he just goes on and on with, you know, like all 6 of the gems and all the things that he can do. And it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Seeing this, he's wrecking this poor dude. Like, Silver Surfer's like, what are you doing? And he points out that the Surfer's, actually he's going to point out much later on, but he points out the Surfer's one main weakness is his emotions. He can never seem to gather his emotions and actually put them together. He's always going to freak out and jump. It's like he's extremely powerful. Surfer's beyond powerful. And check out Silver Surfer explained in a minute if you want to know how. So he goes and he jumps at him also and tries to blast him and just like, pfft, give me a break, man. Boop. Just completely punks him out. So, this display of power being over, he goes and takes his leave, and he's going to go back to the Sanctuary, his old ship, the Sanctuary. And there's this huge armada of people who have decided to follow him. And they're all like, you know, okay, we want some plunder and some action. We're following you because we want to be able to, you know, kick the bad guys' butts. We're pirates, for crying out loud. We want the booty. And take that any way you want. It means both ways. So he's like, okay, yeah, here's a pile of treasure that I just created out of nowhere, just destroying the entire universe's ecosystem. He's like, distribute these evenly amongst these guys, and there'll be more to follow, whatever, but tell them to shut up. They're my personal bodyguards. They're really just here for a show. It's like, he could just create these guys, but whatever, man. I'd be like, oh, you're the first to worship Mistress Death. Here, go meet her. And they're gone. But that's just me. So he's like, hey, hold on. There's a stowaway. And he finds out that Nebula's still alive. He burns alive, he incinerates the first mate who saved him. That was a shame. He didn't know how to defend himself, like, verbally. He'd be like, oh, but, you know, you gotta understand, dude. So he makes Nebula immortal. Yeah, this proves to be a huge mistake in the Infinity Gauntlet story. We're not getting to that in this video. So he makes her immortal, but he doesn't actually heal her. So she's right on the border of life and death. She's in excruciating pain, and there's nothing left of her mind for the most part. Whole bunch of more crazy, wild things will happen to her as time goes on. And, yeah, check out Nebula, explained in a minute. That also happened this week. So, at this point, Mephisto shows up. And Mephisto's like, you know, oh, hey, cool, check it out, man, check it out. Listen, I'm one of the demons. I'm one of the original demons. And you can check out Mephisto, explained in a minute. That happened some time ago. So, Mephisto, just check out Mephisto's actual origin. But here he gives a slightly different origin. You can never believe this prince of lies, this king of lies, this god of lies, the demon of lies. So he's just like, yeah, man, I was actually created from the original being. And then, you know, he didn't like us, so he got rid of us. But then we all wound up coming back. So, you know, hey. And he's like, check this out, dude. I've seen this being use these gems in ways that you've never imagined. So he's like, huh, really? Well, tell me how. He's like, you ever try to put yourself in touch with the entire cosmos? Because you can. So he does. Thanos decides to put himself in touch with, like, basically a form of true cosmic awareness. true cosmic awareness. So not the level that Karnak has, where he just senses certain things happen. And Spider-Man has a form of cosmic awareness, but just what's immediately around him. It's more like a danger sense. Captain Marvel has that. Carol Danvers. Rogue kind of had that for a little while, but unfortunately Claremont never really did anything with that, so might as well not have had it. But regardless, a bunch of different characters have this ability. Thanos took the true form of this, like one of the cosmic concepts, like Master Order, Lord Chaos, and Eternity, and Mistress Death, and the Living Tribunal, all these, Galactus, case in point. So he just goes out and he's fully aware of everything, but he's not aware of his body. Actually, he is. Mephisto doesn't think so, though. So he goes up and he takes the gauntlet right off, and he's like, now I got it. Yeah, now I'm the supreme power. Why is this thing doing this? And it's jacking him up. He's like, what is this? And then he tries to burn it, doesn't happen. And then you see Thanos' hand inside the gauntlet choking him. It's like, did you really think I'm that stupid? He's like, I just had to see if you're worthy. You passed. So he passed the test. So, nice way to try to weasel out of that. Anyway, Thanos does not trust him at all, but he's like, yeah, you can actually be my lackey. You're obviously of no threat to me, so whatevs. In the meantime, Mephisto goes and points out this is his weakness. And if somebody figures this out, they're going to be able to exploit this. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get to that. So, all that happening, Drax and the Silver Surfer, turns out what happened to them is they didn't actually die. Thanos didn't kill them. He just sends their souls into the Soul Gem. Now, there's been a lot of different ideas of what the Soul Gem is. Here, the Soul Gem is this paradise. So they're walking around and they meet up with Gamora and they meet up with Pip the Troll. God, I hate Pip the Troll. And they meet up with a whole bunch of different people. What do you call it? At one point, Silver Surfer realized that he doesn't have his powers anymore because they're with his body. But Drax, his powers, while similarly with his body, he is a so single-minded, focused determination, because he's a simpleton, that he still has all of his powers, and in many ways, more. He's actually more powerful here. So Gamora is going to go and try and slow him down because he actually has the power to destroy the Soul Gem. Why does he want to destroy the Soul Gem? Because he feels Thanos' presence everywhere. Because Thanos is in control of the Soul Gem, but he's simpleton, so anyway. So Gamora, the most dangerous woman in the galaxy, is going to go after him. Well, they say that about Gamora all the time, and yeah, sometimes, but for the most part, nah. Nah. Look, she's tough. She's tough as nails. But honestly, like her versus Elektra, she's stronger than Elektra. I'm just saying, I'd be more afraid of Elektra than I am of Gamora. And that's just my personal opinion. Maybe one of these days we'll actually, when I start doing versus battles, we'll actually get into that. In the meantime, Gamora, she doesn't do a good job against Drax. He winds up like one shot knocking her out. But it's after a while. Like, it's a long time of her kicking, punching, surprising him, jumping him, and all this crazy stuff. Meanwhile, everybody else is going to go and climb on top of the summit, on top of this mountain to the summit where Adam Warlock is hanging out. So Warlock is up there chilling out, and Warlock is just this unbelievably majestic being, and by all means, please go and check out Adam Warlock, Explained in a Minute. While you're there, check out Thanos, Explained in a Minute. A lot of my Explained in the Minutes have been towards leading to my explanation of the Infinity Gauntlet. So we're almost there. This is the prelude to the Infinity Gauntlet. So all these characters explained for the most part. I got to remember to put them in the description below. In the meantime, Adam Warlock is this supreme being, but he is still man-made. So he's not as powerful as Thanos. He's just not, but he has still killed Thanos before. And unlike Drax, he has stopped Thanos before. Drax hasn't. Eventually, Drax will, but whatevs. Adam Warlock is way more effective. He's even technically more effective than the Silver Surfer, and the Surfer does wind up deferring to him now and in the Infinity Gauntlet, and to good effect. So Adam Warlock is like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to stop Drax before he destroys everything. And he's not supposed to have his powers here either, but he does. He does. So he jumps off the mountain and he flies. Goes right after him. But he's still not powerful enough to take him down. You know what I'm saying? There was a chance that he could have failed, but he's so supremely confident that you think, oh yeah, he's got this. He winds up choking him out. And he's not laughing, but he's commenting afterwards. If he weren't so stupid, he'd realize that there's no need to breathe in this place. You think that's air you're breathing? So, really cool moment. I totally dig that. I loved that. Warlock is extremely powerful, but he's not a supreme... Like him versus Silver Surfer, for the most part, Silver Surfer is going to destroy Adam Warlock. But Warlock is more than just a powerhouse. He's smart. And that's his biggest thing. Anyway, so they decide, okay, Warlock says, I'm going to get you out of here, Surfer. You and Drax. Drax has to go. But you should go also. Understand, we're going to take care of some business here, but you need to get out now. Yes, Thanos is going to know that I still exist inside of here, and he's probably going to come after us, but I'll worry about that when it happens. In the meantime, know that you have an ally in Adam Warlock. That is one of those, seriously, like, if you've read a lot as Adam Warlock before, that's like a solid right there, you know? So Surfer and Drax get brought back to their bodies. Mephisto shows up really quick. He's like, you know, the face of Mephisto. He's gonna kill you. You better run. Just freaky. So Thanos is like, did you just go and warn them? Yeah. Why? Well, you know, I wanted to mess with him. He's like, you're such a wimp. He's like, hate you. So Thanos shows up. He's like, yeah, go and warn who you got to warn. But understand, I'm going to mess with you just because I can. So they both start going, but Galactus, Freudian slip, because Surfer's like, listen, you keep going and hang out towards Mentor. I got to go and warn the people of Earth really quick. But he's going to take a sidetrack because he senses something. Silver Surfer has cosmic awareness also on a very specific level. That's how he was able to find all these lifeless planets for Galactus. So anyway, he goes and he comes across Frankie Ray, Nova. So, yeah, the first Nova. And he's just like, hey, what's up, babes? What's up, toots? And you figure, like, there's going to be, like, a quick lovey moment, but he's just too busy. And it kind of puts her off. It's like, I got to go talk to your master. Just chill, because she's the Herald of Galactus right now. So just, sorry. So she's like, fine. So he goes and he talks to Galactus. Like, Galactus, I was told something by Adam Warlock that my soul is actually tampered with. What's up with that, dude? What's up with that? Everybody, in fact, in the Soul Stone knew that his soul was tampered with. It's like, yeah, I messed with your memories. I messed with a lot of stuff inside of you because you had to do some really messed up things, and you're a wonderful person. Like, literally, like Galactus actually tells him, like, you are a good, noble person, and I had to tweak you a little bit so that you could, you know, be my herald. He's like, I didn't tell you. Messing with my memory wasn't a part of the bargain. He's like, first off, I'm Galactus, so be glad you even still have your powers. I can take them from you. So, you know, Silver Surfer's getting mad, but he knows his place, and he should seriously know his place. You don't mess with Galactus. You don't mess with Galactus. It took like 5 Sentinels to take, or 5 Celestials to take down Galactus. I'm just saying. And it wasn't even like individuals. They formed into like a super celestial. That happened sometime in the future in a Fantastic Four comic, but we're not there yet. So Galactus is like, yeah, shut up, dude. Listen, here's the deal. And he goes and explains to him, yes, I made it so that you, your soul was a little bit different so that you could do the things I asked you to do. He's like, I need you to fix it. Galactus is like, are you sure? Because, he's like, please fix it. He's like, okay, boop, done. He's like, okay, it didn't hurt. He's like, look at your hands, numbskull. And he looks, and there's blood on his hands. And this is allegorical, of course. So he's looking, he's like, all the blood on my hands, but there's so much blood that it keeps on rising, and he's drowning in this blood. He actually, like, drowns, and he's immersed completely in this blood, so much blood, all the lies, because Silver Surfer didn't go after lifeless planets. That's Nova's thing. See, the first true living sentinel herald of Galactus was Silver Surfer, and he was on a learning curve, I guess. So it was just like, yeah, go give me planets. And Frankie Ray was like, I will get you planets, but I will get you planets that are lifeless. Like the one that Galactus is standing on. He's about to consume it. He's, you know, got his machinery down there. Anyway, so Galactus is like, dude, you gonna be okay? He's like, yeah. He's like, I can reverse this for you. It's not too late. He's like, no. I ain't no man if I can't deal with this stuff. So, So he flies off. He's like, I got to go warn Earth. Listen, man, Thanos is coming. He's more powerful than you now. He's like, I heard of Thanos. I ain't worried about that. Well, Thanos shows up after Surfer leaves. And he's like, hey, Galactus, I came here to put you on notice. He's like, you threatening me? He's like, it's a warning. But if I want to threaten you, yeah, what are you going to do? I could wink you out of existence, punk. So he actually winks the planet out of existence. He's like, oh, were you about to eat that? Are you hungry? Aw. And he just disappears. And Galactus is like, man, I know you did not just met. You literally took a planet out of my mouth. You know, like taking candy away from a baby? Imagine a Galactus baby. Not cool, dude. Not cool. He just took his din-din. So Galactus is ticked to Thanos now. Just, he's on notice. So, geez, what happens here? Thanos, monster, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Thanos decides to go to this planet, and there's a whole bunch of little freaky Ewok-looking things with really cool buzz cuts. And he grabs one of them, and he turns him into this big, gigantic, super Thanos monster. And he's like, go and slow down the Silver Surfer. Mephisto's like, why? He's like, I don't know, I feel like messing with him. Literally, that's it. So all of issue 49 is just him fighting this gigantic monster, and he finally beats him. And Thanos comes along, and he's like, he got turned back into a normal guy. And him and Mephisto are walking, and they're like, yeah, I just wanted to mess with him. You know, messing complete. And he continues on. And then later on, you see that he'd actually stepped on this poor, helpless, pitiful creature who was reaching up to him for help. He just stepped on him. You see the blood splatter everywhere. Like, Thanos is just evil, dude. Pure evil. Wow. Killed an Ewok. Ugh. So anyway, says, he's going to go and he's going to mess with Silver Surfer directly. The part of him that was, there was a Marvel 2-in-1 way back in the day where Thanos was originally turned to stone by Adam Warlock. After he died, mind you, which is sick. But Adam Warlock, yeah, in death, like, turned him to stone and then, I'm back, messed with him and everything. And he says, so he takes this inanimate stone object and makes it animate, this other version of him, and he goes after the Silver Surfer. And he's beating the heck out of the Surfer. And he's literally just like, I'm going to mind probe you. And he's looking into his past. Now, here's where you get, like, again, you guys got to see the Silver Surfer explained in a minute. It's only explained in a minute. I'm not trying to do a half-hour-long episode where I'm just talking about the Silver Surfer. No. Here, however, issue number 50. Issue number 50, guys, is the most beautiful cover I think you're ever going to come across in a comic book. It is so gorgeous. It's got the foil, and it almost looks holographic, and it's a beautiful silver chrome piece, and the Surfer on the front is just, oh my God, absolutely gorgeous. Issue number 50 of Volume 3 of the Silver Surfer. Beautiful. Everybody should own one. Which reminds me, I have to go back and reintroduce that to my collection because I lost all those in 2011. Anyway, so all of this is just really looking at the Silver Surfer's past because Thanos is trying to mess with him. So he looks at his past and he sees that Silver Surfer was, born on Zenla, this paradise planet where they're so technologically involved that robots, even nanite robots, make sure that the people learn just enough so they can truly get the most out of enjoying their lives, their very long extended lives on Zenla. These robots, they were all created by the Zenlanians, and it's just, yeah, that's that. They don't have any real ambition anymore. In fact, his mother couldn't enjoy her life because it was just too pleasurable that she actually wound up committing suicide. Yes, his Silver Surfer Norrin Radd's mother committed suicide because she just couldn't adapt to this perfect life. This reminds me a lot of this one episode of The Twilight Zone where this mobster kills a bunch of people and he's got everything perfect happens in his life. He's like, okay, I want to go and rob a bank, and it goes perfectly. And he's like, dude, I want some excitement. It's like, I want to go do some gambling. And he's winning every single hand. He's like, there's too much here, dude. And there's like this angel next to him. He's just like, dude, this is too much. Like, heaven is too much. I want there to be some challenge. And he's like, no, there's no challenge here. Anytime you want to do something, you'll always get exactly everything that you want. He's like, this doesn't feel like a heaven. And the guy's like, I'm sorry, who told you this was heaven? And he's a devil. It's like hell is getting everything you want so that there is no challenge left in life. Imagine that. Love the Twilight Zone, man. Rod Serling, the best. The best. I would love for Rod Serling to have been alive to write The Silver Surfer. I'm just saying. That being said, this is kind of like what Zen-La was. So Norrin Radd's father wanted a lot more for Norrin. Now, his father is a scientist, and he went and discovered a bunch of different things to try and, you know, how like this psionic cyiosis machine that's supposed to improve their, you know, instead of having to take drugs to enjoy this hyperbolic life, instead he makes it so it's just this machine that you attach to yourself, and it's not addictive. There's no addictive properties to it or whatever, so it doesn't really mess with your brain chemistry. Well, unfortunately, he wound up building off of this technology that somebody else had made. Now, it was a minor thing. It was a very minor thing that this other person did, and he created a lot off of this little idea that somebody else had. But he didn't reference the person in his notes, so he was accused of theft. And his son was like, you know, really disappointed. So Norrin was really disappointed in his dad. Well, his dad, on his own, went off and committed suicide, a laser pistol to the head. Yeah. So Norrin was all sorts of messed up about that. And mind you, when Shalabal was assigned to him, when you lose a parent, his mother in this case, you are paired off with a similar child who, you know, who's supposed to be your friend, and you two are supposed to be able to work this out to help out this Zenlanian child as best as possible. So Shalabal was assigned to him, and he was immediately in love with her. I don't think they really got into it that much here, but they did show that she was there with him. Anyway, so, and he never really got into her that much, which is a shame because that's all he could ever think about afterwards. But this is basically his life. And Thanos looks at this, he's like, I can't believe you. Like, you sat there and insult me for having killed my mother before. Yeah, go check out Thanos Explained in a minute. He's like, yeah, I killed my mother. A youthful indiscretion, thinking that I could try and figure out why I'm so evil if I came from something so perfect and so good. And yeah, false premise, his mom wasn't really that good. Anyway, so he killed her to try and find out where the mistake was that made him. And he's like, you insult me for having killed my mother, but like, you're just as much a monster as I am. I'm simply able to admit it. You can't. So it's an amazing scene. And Norrin is just like, oh my God, I really am scum. And he just leaves him in that state. He's like, now you can go warn your Earth friends. So he just, like, he allows the statue to be destroyed, but he could have come back at any time he wanted to. Anyway, so Norrin goes back, but he's on a surfboard. And man, the best Silver Surfer is just seeing the Silver Surfer feeling like he's broken, because like this. I know a lot of people want to say like, who's the Superman of the Marvel Universe? People like to say Hyperion and this guy and that guy, whatever. No, dude, it's Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer is the Superman of the Marvel Universe, because here's this supremely, infinitely powerful dude, but it's the emotions and the human interactions that is what defines the Silver Surfer. And in many ways, he's better than Superman because he's so philosophical. He doesn't just assume all these things, but like, he is genuinely alone. He can't ever really go back home. You know what I'm saying? And like, his girl is still alive, and he can't go back, and just like, it's a messed up thing. You know, it's a messed up thing. With all the powers he's got, the one power he doesn't have is to resurrect the dead. So that's just so sad, man. It's so sad. So anyway, he goes to Earth, but he's so distraught that he actually winds up crashing. He's going to go and try and talk to Doctor Strange, and he winds up crashing through the big window, the Eye of the Vishanti symbol, and he crashes through the staircase, and that's where we leave him off, which is exactly where the Infinity Gauntlet will start up. So very cool stuff. I loved this 6 issues. This was absolutely amazing. This was so amazing. Again, this is what's going to lead into the Infinity Gauntlet. There are links below if you want to check out on Amazon.com to get either digital or physical copies. If you can't actually go and find the actual comic books, they will be expensive in real life. But yeah, either way, you're going to get them. Go out and grab them. Such amazing stories. You see all the things I left out as I'm just brushing, blowing right through this. But I'm hoping that next week we can talk about the Infinity Gauntlet itself. We'll see, because Infinity War is coming out. I got my ticket. Do you have yours? And you guys are probably watching this like a year later. It's like, yeah, dude, I've got it on DVD. It hasn't come to theaters yet, so I don't know what it's going to be like. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.